Okay, folks, welcome back to Sunset Falls. We are working through our City Skyline Let's Play, and we have a lot of things to cover today. First of all, we are still seeing sky high residential demand, so we definitely have to keep building out the residential space in this city. Right now, I know that we just worked on the suburb area, and I think we may want to give it its own district very shortly. But we also built out this kind of trolley circuit right here, and I think this is, or sorry, tram circuit rather, and I think this could be a really interesting neighborhood as well. A lot of opportunities for some more kind of leisure activities along the waterfront here. Second thing is we're really close to hitting our busy town milestone, which will get us a ton of new city planning policies, an oil industry opportunity, a bunch of new fun things to deal with, some new roads that we've really been looking forward to, the pedestrian pathways that we've really been looking forward to, a bunch of new buildings, which is awesome. This fishing pier, which will be pretty helpful for, as I said, the kind of river-based leisure activity. We'll also get the geothermal power plant, which I'm really excited about in terms of sustainable energy options, and also this ferry and bus exchange stop. I think that could be really interesting. If you look at how our city's spread out right now, there's so much waterfront space here. I think we should really see what we can do with this waterfront that'll help us really kind of get something neat going on in terms of transportation. So actually, now that I'm here, what is going on here? It looks like all of this stuff just, oh, you know what? When I zoned out the industrial at the end of the last episode, but I zoned out all of our power over here. Okay, at least we have fixed that. Awesome. Okay, so this is our old garment district. We may have to rename this pretty soon because it's just essentially a random collection of. I didn't treat any patients with this. Where could we put this? It would be more productive. Maybe somewhere up here. We put it across from the school. Is that intentionally? Is it just not filled with anything? Okay. Let's take this hospital and we'll put it just kind of up here. There we go. Have a hospital next to a park, right? So we're gonna have to clean this up at some point. I don't really know what we're doing here, but this is not, I think, the best use of anyone's time. So we'll have to see how that goes. We are seeing a lot of use on our mountain path, though. That's great to see. We are starting to see people kind of roughly use this space. I do think we want to create a small tram circuit around here. So if I go to my tram options, and we actually create a new line here. Let's see if we can make something. We'll start it like right here. We'll go around this way, Just kind of have a couple different waterfront stops here. Just stop a few times. And I think once we put roads in, we'll probably, kind of set this up a little bit more according to where our primary junctions are. But for now, we're just kind of getting it in, making sure that we don't forget about it later, and then we have something to fix once we get there. So let's make this a totally different color too. I think we need to get, there we go, blue with tram line 2. And I think something that we'll want to do here is let's change the type of vehicle, because as much as I'm trying to drag this window, it's just not going to let me do that, huh? Okay, I guess we're not going to be able to drag it. Let's do something more interesting here. First of all, let's remove all those vehicles, and I think we just want to let's just set up this type of vehicle. Oh my gosh. All right. Moving a few of these. Let's see what this looks like on our tram line here. So actually, it's probably going to be easier if we just go directly to the tram line and grab them right there. So let's see. Oh, that's our Mount Tunnel tram line. Whoops. Tram line 2. All right. Let's go see one of our vehicles. It's coming through right now. Let's see what this looks like. Suspense is killing me. And okay, so they look like this. I actually don't mind those at all. I think those are pretty nice looking, honestly. KM plus KP plus KP. I wonder if that's speaking as to why it's so long. Okay, and then this is the generic. I actually kind of like the generic. You know what? I might take back everything we just did. What if we actually go back here to this tram line? Select types. Instead of selecting these, let's just do the generic. We'll pull both of these off the track line. There we go. All right, so now hopefully it should send out some of those more generic ones, and we should be in a good spot. All right, here, we're gonna have to add a few vehicles into our queue here. There we go. So we have some queued vehicles, and then we'll see how this goes in terms of matching our actual demand here. Okay. All right, so we have a few initial trams set up here. We're still not quite at our population. We're just crawling there, right? All right, so let's zone in a little bit more housing. And I think we can actually do some easy housing right along here. Is there any reason not to do that? It's industrial, that's why. All right, so then let's put some along here instead. Hopefully that'll help us kind of get to that last spot there. Why has this house not gone up yet? Education, education, education. Okay, so we are starting to see a drop off in elementary school education here. So before we go too far here, right on this corner, elementary school. Love it. High school coverage is definitely not as good. Interesting. I wonder what the deal is with that. This is the high school, right? That's community school. I always mix that up because this is the library that throws me off. All right. For some reason, it looks like these kids just don't feel like they get quite as good access here. Huh. Let's put any students there. Interesting. Yep, everyone's just looking for more education. Okay. Well, hopefully that's something we're in the process of providing. All right, so let's scope out some new neighborhoods here. I think we could do something pretty interesting, potentially with some pedestrian paths along here too. So we'll have to wait just a second for those pedestrian paths to come back. But if we just kind of take some easy, kind of 2-lane roads with trees. All right, well, we're going to upgrade those just a little bit. See if we can find some interesting junction points here. Just see what happens if we start to build off of these. Kind of make our units this way. Just start like a basic 10 by 10 grid. See how that goes. Oops, it's going to give me a hard time. Kind of connect them out this way. All right. Starting to get something a little funky here. It's not going to curve quite the same way. Do we want it to just curve a little bit? That could be kind of interesting. Yeah, maybe let's try doing that. So what I'm going to do here actually is use move it to copy kind of this whole curve here. Actually, let's also add this end bit. All right, let's copy this. Copy. And then just kind of bring it up just a little bit. Maybe like here. There we go. So then what I'm going to do is just delete this little overlap here. And then we can upgrade this type of road and have a nice smooth curve right here that we can then start connecting up. All right, so if we go down like that, then we can start to connect in here. I don't know why that line is going to be all upset. Oh, it's my tram line is upset that it's no longer complete. That's interesting. I wonder why that's happening. I'm upset about the tram line down here too. Huh. We also have no passengers on either of these. That just seems odd to me. Well, there's no vehicles on that one, so let's add a few vehicles into our mountain tunnel line. If I turn on budget control. Okay, there we go. Vehicle is controlled by the budget. That's probably what I needed in the first place, huh? Well, next time, please just yell at me to let me know. Getting there, getting there. Okay, so then tram line 2. Let's also include budget control on that. What is 100% of that budget? Is 4. Okay, perfect. And we'll leave vehicle and bunching on, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so we have a few people queued up here. We'll see how this goes. They've been waiting for too long. That's unfortunate. Hopefully that'll fix up shortly. Oh, now we're not seeing that anymore. Cool, fixed it. Alrighty, so let's go back to just kind of getting our gentle paths in here. And again, we kind of want to upgrade these when the time comes. But for now, we're just going to kind of keep doing this little, there we go. And then we cut that off kind of right here. Can we get that? It's about as close as we'll get, I think. Okay, great. Okay, so now we have some interesting kind of designs here. And it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. There we go. Kind of connect that up at the right angle. This gives us more opportunities from services. Maybe see if we want to put potentially even some pedestrian roads coming down along here. So I'm going to be really careful in where I put my retail along this beach, our riverfront property rather. And I think we want to scope this pretty closely to, there we go, just these little spaces in between, right? We don't want to get too crazy with it here. There we go. Let's actually not even do that one, because that way we have some space to go in between these retail properties when the time comes, right? So let's actually get potentially one more layer coming down along here, connect up here, and then we can go straight down that way. There we go. Just kind of get some nice little funky roads in here. Let's maybe just kind of jolt sideways there. And then we actually won't bother connecting that in. There we go. Starting to get some interesting little patterns in here. I think we'll just go all the way along here. And just presume that we will need to use this at some point for a few of these other roads. Let's just start to get some interesting curves in here. I'm going to join things up at nice angles as much as we can to the best of our ability. Try to get that in more of a 90 there. Oh, there we go. Let's see what we can make of this. All right, so we know that we need some more residential, so let's just zone all of this in here as our residential right now. And again, we're going to try to stay away from the sides and try to put some retail more kind of along a few of these big thoroughfares here. Oh, whoops, and we have no water and no power. Man, one of these days, and remember to do all of our water and power first. Today is not that day. All right, that all hooked up. That one up here. I think we can just go across here. There we go. All right, so we may have some issues here. Well, we'll presume there will be roads there very shortly. I think power is a larger question. For us right now, it has to kind of grow down here. So we know that this is a park space right here. I think it could be interesting to do actually some really nice residential on this side of the park. I know there's going to be... Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. We may have to replace this long term, but let's give it a shot for now, depending on how our plans for the park end up. And I think that is 5 across, which we do not need. There we go. Cool. And then we'll do retail on the other side. So it'll be kind of a totally split use block. And I actually like the idea of having no breaks here. You kind of have to get into this neighborhood proper before you're able to really access all of this. And then let's actually buffer this tram line too with a little bit of retail. Just for the noise, I presume that the tram lines may get a little bit noisier through here. Yeah, and that is kind of what we expect to see here. So maybe we actually even pull this off and we put something interesting in this corner here too. There we go. Just kind of protect those citizens, or rather those who might be living there, from all that noise. Okay, so now we can go back in here. Yay, there we go. All right, we finally hit our busy town. We have all of our different roads that we can do, all sorts of fun stuff in here. All right, and we can do our little marinas and our jetties out here. So, all right, I'm gonna pause the game really quickly so we can do some road upgrades here. We wanna upgrade these. Upgrade, please, thank you. So we can go through here and upgrade basically all of these roads. And hopefully residents will really appreciate having some nice greenery in their space. Let's do, there we go. Get some up here too. All over the place. I do wish you could kind of better choose what style of trees were on these roads, but I digress. Okay, so it looks like those are all pretty good. And I think we'll get, actually here, let's just zone a little bit more right there. And see if we can hopefully stretch this power up, because kind of a pain to run power lines all the way down here, but is it going to make life easier? There's some power lines essentially right down here, right in here. Let's see if that fixes our problem. Actually, there we go. Okay, cool, good enough. Okay, so we also, I think, potentially want to upgrade some of these roads here. It's going to start knocking down buildings in a few of these spaces. You know what? It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. You probably didn't love it when your family was kicked out there, but hopefully, you know, it's just an opportunity to upgrade your house. Maybe this is more of an eminent domain situation than we initially thought. Okay, so I'm not trying to get all of these roads filled up with trees, but I kind of specifically wanted to focus on these super suburban ones and see how that went. Okay, other things that we can do now that we have this. I do think that we want to work on like a little pedestrian walkthrough along here. Now that we have like this pedestrian boardwalk option. So this is definitely something we should take a look at in terms of extending this down here. So I'm just going to pull that out right now so we can kind of think about that. And let's see if we can kind of curve this around the back here. I think potentially get right out there. There we go. Now we can kind of start going all the way around the river space here. Let's try to keep this a little bit gentler. And then we can kind of hook up just get it back here. There we go. Okay, so now it has kind of provided this like roughness, you know, but hopefully we can mask that with some of these cool piers. So, all right, for some reason it's saying I have to unlock that. Joke's on you. It has been unlocked. So I think we're going to put a few fishing piers kind of right in this area. Maybe put a few more down at this end too. And maybe a restaurant pier. That could be a lot of fun too. Let's see. We'll put the restaurant pier kind of right at the foot of that walkway there. These are park piers, so we actually have to have a park there too. And pier ruins, not quite what I'm looking for. A bunch of I have no idea what that is. So all right, we'll start with that for now. It's kind of the basics. All right, we are seeing some growth here. Let's check out some of our districts and policies right now. So we only have this one district, Elm Heights. I don't really love that name. So if you have any name suggestions, please let me know. But we also have this, I think, what could be our second district right over here. So let's kind of fill this in. Oh, that is painful. Just painful. I'll go in and clean this up there. Don't worry about it too much, hopefully. Just kind of sneak down here. There we go. Okay. And do a little bit of cleanup along this edge. Alrighty. Elk Hills. A lot of elk related things. That's okay. We'll get through it. Alright, so we'll have another district coming right along here, and this will capture most of our kind of tram related district. Alright, the snapping when it actually works is really convenient, but I feel like when it doesn't work, it can definitely throw you off. Okay, that worked out pretty well there. Awesome. And then we'll just kind of expand that district as we go along. And obviously we have that huge gap on the side. That's okay, we'll come back and fix that. There we go. Kind of slice that up. There we go. Okay. Nice. So I think this we're going to call Shavo Park after a neighborhood in my area. We still have some open names. Maybe we'll call this Cannery. The Cannery, because it's right next to hopefully our fish production factories here. We do not have any fish in here or any, we have some commercial goods in here, not a ton. Do we need to store, we talked about potentially storing any raw animal products, but I don't think that's the case. Hopefully they should be bringing the fish in right now. There are only so many freight trucks in use, but hopefully that will continue moving up as we continue providing more workers. Okay, so we are actually seeing our residential demand finally go down a little bit. But we do have this nice long stretch here that I don't see anybody actually living in. So hopefully we can fix that pretty soon. I'm actually going to leave this space for some services because we are going to need, let's see, let me put, where was the actual zone? All right, so we do have some space on the corner. So maybe we put in a larger hospital here. Do we have space for a hospital? We don't. It's unfortunate. Maybe we'll kind of try to reserve some of this space along here for a larger hospital. Ooh, I think like right here. I like this idea. Boom, there we go. So nice big hospital. And then maybe down here instead, we can fit in maybe like a larger police station or fire department kind of along this road. All right, that's not too bad right there. And then fit in maybe a smaller fire department we could throw kind of right along here. There we go. All right, and hopefully that hasn't disrupted our zoning too much. No, perfect. Okay. Oh, one other thing I'd like to fit in is also a post office. So we're going to need a few more of those. I think get our post office in, find like a nice, relatively 90-degree corner that we could put. I guess that's not too bad. We do right there. There we go. I know this is something where it's like to get that corner fit nice like that, you have to kind of just have the right kind of corner, right? Okay, perfect. So now we have our house right there. Still a ton of residential demand, and I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but there's a ton of residential opportunity right along here. So I don't know what y'all are waiting for. There we go. Now we're starting to see people moving. How long is it going to take us to get our high density? Okay, we do still need a few more before we get to the full high density option. And then let's do along here. Maybe we can just sneak in a tiny little bit of retail along here and see if that'll be enough to get power over to this space. We shall see. Oh, one other thing we should check out too is also getting our entertainment level up here a little bit so that we can continue to level up this park. So let's see, what other options do we have in this park space for some beautification and entertainment? All right, so now we have obviously the piers we're not going to use as much. We have all the park restrooms. Where could we potentially fit in? Yeah, this is not going to fit in anywhere, I think is the answer, realistically. So we'll have to be really careful on how much we can kind of fit in our narrow park here. But I definitely think that's not going to, yeah, that pause is not really going to fit. Some options for, okay, so we can still fit in some individual chess tables. So let's focus maybe a little bit on this area next and make some park tiles. Okay, just kind of tile this up here. Looks pretty nice. Just kind of make a nice little park space right here. All right, and we're gonna just do a little copy paste. Boom, awesome. All right, so now I have a little park space here. Oops. So now we can throw down some chess tables. We have a very, very big chess presence in Sunset Falls, hopefully. Everyone had seen the Queen's Gambit and they are ready to get their chess on. Right, a little navigational sign. We throw a street lamp up right next to some of these benches. There we go. And then what other fun things can we throw in? Ooh, maybe a little food stall on this side. I like that idea. I know there's a cafe right over there, but if you want a food stall, maybe grab a drink as well. Nice. Actually, here, let's move our food stall back here a little bit. Put that, maybe kind of almost corner this a little bit there. Corner this, angle it a little bit as well. So now, playing chess, it's getting heated. It's giving me a hard time about pulling things with that. Ah, really? Okay, come on. All right, really where it is. You know, good enough for me. All right, one other thing I would like to do while we're here is also look at potentially putting in some fences, right? So I think that is a nice thing. I mean, the park is free, but the fences are more just to keep kind of that clean, fenced-in look. Looks like we may have to, there we go, give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room here. And then we're gonna continue our fence. Let's give it a hard time attaching the right place. Maybe if I keep going down, there we go. Attach it up to there. It's gonna be this last, there we go. Okay, I was about to say that last little bit is gonna give me a tough time. Now we can just kind of keep going all the way down. Attach right to that gate right there. Beautiful. Okay, and we also don't have any park entrances on this side. That's definitely something we should kind of consider. Oh man, all those houses built in. Okay, well that's not gonna be too hard because we're gonna be building on the other side of the street. All right, let's get another one of our park side gates. See if we can line this up directly. Beautiful. Okay, and now we can kind of get our park gate all the way around here. And this may not last forever either. But we'll get, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Okay, that's what I get for using the anarchy. Rid of that. And rid of that. Okay, so let's turn anarchy off and see if we have any better luck now. Nope. Come on. You're really gonna give me a hard time about this, aren't you? Alright, so we can at least get up there, but then it's just this last little bit where we do need anarchy. Alright, so let's actually start from, there we go. Alright, well here, I don't actually hate that. Let's pull this down a little bit. Pull this over. Oh, come on. There we go. That actually looks kind of nice. Kind of just that little corner space right there. Maybe you can find a fun statue or something that'll go there. This cannon. Oh man, maybe not quite the vibe we're going for. Yeah, I thought there's a statue in here somewhere, right? Isn't the icon literally a little statue? It is, yeah. So we'll find something eventually. Oh, okay. This is a cool one. We did get our tunnel entrances. So I was thinking about potentially giving ourselves a little bit more mystery, right? As you go into the mountain here. That may not work with our trams the way that we have them now. We'll see. I don't know how much we could really accomplish here with these kind of tunnel entrances, but I thought they looked really neat. And if you were able to kind of back them up a little bit, kind of hide the way that you actually enter into the mountain here. So we might have to do some work on that because I don't necessarily think I love how this looks, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I want to select both of these actually. Yeah. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it. The other thing we could do is actually lower both of these too. They look lower down a little bit. Nope, that looks hideous. Okay, we'll leave it, and then when we hate it in a few episodes, we'll fix it. All right, we are seeing a lot of traffic through here. I think that's not a bad sign per se. I really wish people were using both of their turning lanes, so we might actually want to fix this. Let's see here. I think let's change this. There we go. Let's see how that goes. Oops. Let's see if that helps traffic at all over here. Are seeing a lot of pedestrian movement. That's what I like to see. You don't have any water. On the contrary, you seem to have plenty of water, but if that's what you want to complain about today, fine, go ahead. Alrighty, let's run this water pipe just down here. Interesting. I didn't realize that this pedestrian street, it actually becomes like a full little street here. This pedestrian walkway rather. But there's like actual car. Sir, why are you going to the drugstore on our pedestrian street? Is this not? I thought this was a pedestrian path only. It's a boardwalk for mixed traffic. Okay, I did not realize there could be cars on this boardwalk. Okay, good to know. We will have to bear that in mind. Maybe we need to use the actual paths instead, because that wasn't really the intended outcome for these spaces. Although, now that I think about it, if those have to be placed on roads, this was actually a pretty elegant solution. We shall see if we maintain that long term. Okay, more housing, more and more housing. Everyone is just very amped about their housing. I guess we can go ahead and do a little bit more housing along here too, right? That is heinous. Okay, 4 across. There we go. I think that should work out okay. Again, kind of close that out. All right, so we'll give a little bit more housing opportunity here. And see where we get. It's just, an insatiable demand to join the city. Not a bad thing by any means. All right, so let's go in and also fill in a few of these as well. Just kind of plop a few more in here. Before we get too far on that, maybe think about some of our death care. We could potentially fit a small cemetery in somewhere so close on all of these. To potentially kind of right down here. Could be kind of a nice spot right by the river. See how that goes, and hopefully that won't block us moving kind of any of these larger roads through. No, perfect. Okay, so we'll leave that there. So now we have our death care facility. I do think it might be nice to have this child health care and elderly care facility too, kind of somewhere in a little bit of this river space here. So maybe we actually put these right along here. That's not going to work. So let's move this sideways and then put our elder care facility really. All right, put you over there or something for a second while we figure out how we can actually fit our elder care facility in. All right, that has to go there, it looks like. Maybe we can fit this on the back. No, you're just going to be difficult, aren't you? You're just going to be difficult. All right, we'll put the child health care over there. All right, so this is kind of getting its own little space here. What if we just put some power right here? And they can kind of independently produce their own power via their little advanced wind turbine here. Let's actually speed up time a little bit too to get that wind turbine turning. Turbining? Yeah, it's turning. Okay, so other things we wanted to focus on was a school, right? So let's close that down a little bit and get this community school. Is it going to fit? Could fit right along there. Beautiful. Can we even fit our... No, we can't quite fit our advanced... our larger high school in there. Can we put anything right along there? Not quite. All right, let's see, maybe we can fit one there though, so let's do that, and then maybe just kind of make our own little play place back here. Man, these are just like huge assets. Not even just a little carousel. No, nothing. Okay, fine then. So if we're not going to do that, maybe we can just put in a few trees, some rocks. We'll have the big trees, right? So maybe something like this. Some trees there. There we go. Maybe, do we have any like fun courts? No, like a tennis court or something like that. You have asphalt courts, this court decal, with beach volleyball. This would be a great thing to put kind of down by the river. Let's maybe try to see if we can fit some basketball in somewhere here. No, you know what? What if we just lose that road? Instead, flip this around this way, and then we kind of have a little bit of a campus feel going on here. Move this tree over. Oops. To be able to select trees again. Come on, tree. Move this tree over there. Okay, there we go. Now, I think there will be room for our basketball court. Beautiful. We even have room to fit in potentially one of the things we tried to fit in earlier. Like a little carousel. Oh my gosh, it magically fit. Beautiful. Okay, let's move this over just a little bit. Angle this. We can move this over as well. Kind of have our little carousel here. Maybe have, this is not what I want. We're decals somewhere. Is that an option? Nah, here somewhere. Who knows? I wanted like a concrete decal. Is that something we have? Nope. The answer is no. Okay, so maybe just put a few more trees in here. Kind of hide that seam a little bit where we're starting to see that. Ooh, super tall. There we go. Okay, so a few different kinds of trees right along here. Nothing that would obstruct their waterfront view too much. Then let's see actually here. So last thing, we were talking about potentially throwing in a beach volleyball court. Maybe we could drop that kind of right down at the end of the road there. Let's actually throw this over here, right at the end there. Awesome. Okay, so our nice beach volleyball court. And we're actually gonna raise that up just a little bit. There we go. Because that ground is looking a little funky there. This whole ground situation, we might have to come in and smooth out actually, while I'm looking at it. Just kind of a gentle smooth. All right, it's not perfect, but it might help a little bit here. Smooth some of this out, just kind of along the coastline, even kind of in the back here too, because it looks like there's a gentle slope there. Okay, so a few other things. Let's definitely don't need this anymore. Great, this is successfully gone over the greenway, so we don't need that. We can fill in a little bit of this over here too. Do we zone this? We did not. All right, so I think we can zone this with houses. I don't see a reason we can't do that. We have our basic services in. Cool. All right. Do we have any room for food? There we go. Awesome. So our little Japanese garden right there too. Keep things nice, lively, and really help increase the property value of these homes as well. Still need more workers. Man, this is killing me. I really don't get it. I mean, we're seeing, what's the educational makeup of our city again? Is it not, can it show us just like the overall ratio here? I guess it is showing us, yeah. All right. 47% are still uneducated though, so I'm not really sure why we're having such an issue trying to find our workers here, other than we need more housing. So that's definitely something we're going to continue working on next time. But for now, thank you for joining me. We had a chance to kind of fill out this neighborhood a little bit and some good things to come. All right, I'll see you next time.